Hello everyone, Tazenga Lunje here and welcome back to the platform. Wherever you're watching this from, I'm gonna start by saying thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here, consider subscribing. I mean, who else doesn't want to get free information like this? Consider subscribing, like this video so it reaches someone who needs to see this video, and also leave a comment, say you learned something, and just share because it's a pleasure to be sharing these things with you guys. And I hope I get some interaction back from you guys. So I want to discuss about planning your future this week. I've been restructuring my plans to how I want to achieve things. So it's only important that I share because I'm sharing with you guys what I'm learning. So someone out there could be able to learn as well. So about planning your future, let's get right. So like you notice, I have this diagram here and this theory that I built. I worked on this over time, revising and creating different adjustments to it. But what I came to discover is this is what currently works for me, and I feel it will help someone out there. So, essentially, as you're planning for your future, there's a lot of things that are involved, but I want to share with you guys what actually works for me. So, the first thing that I've noticed is we want to be able to concentrate on things that we can actually control, being that you can't control everything as you go about your daily life, but the things that you're able to control, they play a big role in how you get results. The things you control play a big role in how and what kind of results you get, how you get results, how quickly you get them. If you get any kind of results, it's dependent on the things that you can actually control, things like making decisions. The list I've made here includes the actions, your associations, how you're spending your time, how you're saving your money, how you're spending your money, your interests, your hobbies, your recreation. What are you doing in your free time? What are you feeding your mind, your personal development, for those of you who actually engage in personal development? Why is this important? Is because if you're able to control these things, you actually control the way your brain is wired. And if you can control the way your brain is wired, you are able to have a little bit more strength when it comes to making decisions and controlling your will to do something that you don't want to do, or control your will to actually go out and do what you want to do. So, with that said, we want to start with a vision. Whenever we want to get anywhere, I believe whenever we plan, you want to go to the mall, you want to go anywhere, it starts with a plan. You start with a vision of what you want to do. And I don't know about some people, whether you just go to the mall without a plan, without a vision of what you're doing. You visualize what stores you're going to get into, you're going to visualize where you want to pick up something, you're going to visualize what you want to pick up and how you want to do it, and what works best for you, what's convenient. So the idea of visualization leads us to the vision. So what a vision simply is, or in the simplest, most basic manner that I understand it, is a vision is simply a picture adaptation of what you want to see in the future, or what you want to obtain in the future. So you want to visualize. Number one is that you want to know where you want to end up as you start any kind of journey. Number two, the list that I've mentioned that has to do with what you spend your time doing, what you can control, and how you react to those situations and how you react to those things is very important, because it will allow you to make more conscious decisions. And as you make more conscious decisions, it becomes a pattern, and the pattern develops into a habit, and the habit just becomes natural. And if you can take note of those things that I mentioned, and so many other things, this is what works for me, and this is what I've seen to be my biggest influences, and for many other people as well. So these are things that influence how we behave and how we get results. So that's one thing. Now you'll find with your vision, in order for you to achieve your vision, you have to put in a certain degree of work. Now you can be putting in the work, but you may be putting in the wrong kind of work, or actually putting in the work that takes you to a different direction. So that's the arrows on this diagram here, is because when you put in the work, what it does is simply, as you work, it helps you go towards your vision. And as you continue working consciously and intentionally on those things, you find yourself, you'll be chasing the future that you actually are looking for. So what it does, if we're to put it in a parallel simulation, wherever you go, you take a road and go this way, and you go this other way. eventually you come together because you've been putting in the work that is aligned to the actual vision that you've been chasing. So the way you manage these aspects and these things on the list will affect how quick and how you get to your vision, or how you get to the future that you want. And that's when you hear people say you can create the future that you want, this is how it's done: by simply managing things that we have already in order to match the future that we actually desire. So as you match your actions to what you desire, you actually find yourself getting closer to attaining the future that you desire. It's easier said than done, I must mention, because to want to sacrifice and work in a particular direction, you have to be willing to put in the time. You have to be willing to put in all these items that I mentioned on this list. Those are things that will affect the direction and the future for you. So anyone out there who's trying to build a future that they actually and absolutely desire, I encourage you to begin managing these little things. And they may seem little to you, but eventually when something becomes a habit, it plays a big role in the way you live your life. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, it is very easy for you to create the desired future that you want, provided you manage these aspects and different aspects of your life that work in line with the future that you desire. So if you desire a future of fast life and fast living and fast everything, you work and you manage all these resources in the line of fast life and fast living. If you desire a more slow paced and a more productive, or a high paced, high productive, you work towards that. Things such as the way you eat as well, what you watch, what you spend your time on, what you spend your money on, all those things affect the desired outcome. So ladies and gentlemen, it's not science, it's what happens, it's what has been experienced. I wish each and every one of you guys success. I share these videos because I care, and it's my service to you guys. It's always a pleasure. Tazenga Lenje, the Open Global Entrepreneur.